Hey everybody, welcome back to the garage of the farm actually. So the little guys are happily welding up the plate, but that is the bare minimum. So last week, yes, we started laying out the farm, started kind of getting some stuff in. We got the irrigation, so everything's piped up and all the farm beds are put in. But yeah, we're missing a lot of flooring, so I'm gonna need to add at least one more row. So I want two width around each of these guys here, so that's going to be a lot of welding. So I did also have to do another dip in my iron. Whoop, let's get into the garage here. So I had to run the iron drill because I was literally down to my last few dozens of iron ingots. So I had to drag through, which, and I'm running low on gold, and you can hear this guy, he's struggling, and, my magnesium's getting low, the cobalt's getting low. So I'm going to start today off by building something to fill this slot here. Essentially a multi-purpose vehicle, one that I can set up for welding, one that can be converted for mining, and something that just is no longer reliant on its wheels. So that's where I'm going to start today, is to get something like that built up. Okay, refilled my stats, ate some chips, and we can get to work. So I'm going to start off here with a... do I want to do a hinge or a rotor? I'm going to just grab myself a hinge here, and we'll pop that into place and remove this so we can weld this up. Not sure where... Oh, thanks, guys. Okay, so with that there, we can now add a medium head. And again, we can get that welded up here. Okay, so first thing we got to do is let's have some steel plate on us. Okay, so with the small grid there, we can start laying out some blocks. And the first block I want to get to, of course, is going to be a connector. So we'll build that up like that, and we'll grab a connector and put that there. So I always like to start with the connector right away and getting it locked into place. That way, if I accidentally switch it off here or disconnect here, it's not going to fall. But more importantly, as soon as I start adding the batteries in, or if it's going to have hydrogen or any of that stuff, we can get it refilling right away. Of course, it is going to need to be conveyed, so we'll grab... I don't know how... Let's see, we'll go with one of these guys here. Yep, we'll go with one of those. Then we can grab one of the best additions to the game, which is the modular cargo container. There we go. Okay, so we got the modular cargo container. I don't want it to be super big. I do want to keep it a more reasonable size. Let's see. We'll go now from here. Yeah, we're gonna put in a spacer. And in a spacer. Gonna keep everything nice and tight. So we can go like that. Okay. We're gonna need some thrust. So again, I'm not gonna make this super complicated, but I do want it to be functional. So we can grab ourselves, and I'm gonna use the flat modes here. So we'll put one there. Nope. Not there. There. Gonna put rounded ones there. And frankly, when it comes to lift, I kind of like to err on the side of overbuild, especially with these little guys, these flatmosts here. Because I kind of wouldn't mind getting some more cargo, so I think I am just going to really load up here on lift thrust. Because then I'm going to pull these out. We are going to go back to a couple of, nope, a couple of these. Like that. Like that. Because now I can grab you. Come on. Come on. Let me back a small grid. Thank you. And one of those. Because now I can grab medium cargoes. That'll go like that. We'll put one there. And we'll put one there. Because that should give me lots of lift. Yeah, and these are connected by small ports for ores and ice or whatever I need to grab her. Let's eat another kelp chip here. And then big ports will handle whatever else is going through there. Okay. Cockpit. We are going to need a cockpit of some kind. You have to control this thing in a manner. And I'm not going to turn it into a drone because, for the chat out there, I don't like using drones. I prefer to be in my own craft. So thank you for the suggestions that I could make drones, but it's not going to happen. For the amount of effort that you put into them, for what the payback you get, I might as well just have nice, easy, cheap vehicles that I can use instead. Okay, so it is a utility vehicle. So I am going to use the industrial cockpit. It does need to be piped in somehow. So we'll use one of these conversion units like that. And then we can go to the cockpit again. So the cockpit connections are really low. That's only drawback. Yeah, I don't like that. So let's do it this way. Instead, we'll rotate. Nope. We'll rotate you that way. And then we'll put one of those, and one of those. Now, I am on Earth-like, which means I don't really need oxygen or hydrogen. Like, the cockpit doesn't need to be connected in any way, shape, or form, like piped in. It just needs to be attached so it can control the grid. But, you know, if you're going to do something, do it right. Besides, what this also does give me now is a couple of spots for, you know, gyros and stuff. All right, let's finish getting the rest of the conveyance. I think the width should be okay. So we're going to need now back to one of these. So again, I want full flow large because I'm going to use this as a welder ship occasionally. So we're going to put those in there. And we'll drop one of those there. That's in the wrong place. Drop one of those there. I do have to remember there's other thrust that needs to go on this thing. Okay. There's the spacer. Spacer. And like that. Okay, cockpit's all done up here, so just gonna turn off the dampeners so that way the thrusters aren't working, because just having them humming in the background is a little annoying. All right, gyro. Maybe I actually should put some batteries on this thing first. Okay, we can put... Finish actually connecting things. Like so. Here we go. All right, now we can grab some batteries. So it's gonna be a flying with Atmos, which means we do need lots and lots of juice. So let's see, we'll put one there, one there. No. I want to keep that port clear just for reasons. For ease of access, yeah, we'll go with that. And then there, and then there, and then there. In the top here, we'll just grab ourselves an inset connector. Just so we have, you know, good access. Okay. So that'll get us charged. Now for thrust. We're gonna need proper thrusters. I don't think I need to go that big unless I go with just one of these guys, but you know, it won't fit there. So we'll go with the sci-fis. And we'll go there. Right across the back here. We can go like that. Side thrust. And hopefully 5 should be plenty. We'll get some testing once we got most of everything up. We'll go do some testing. Okay, so we got forward, we got left, we got right. We just need now backward. And I think we can just probably tuck... Yeah, we'll just tuck our 3 right in here. Like that. And like that. And on the ends here, we are going to need let's see. Drills are longer, so yeah, we'll go like that. No, I can't do that. I actually cannot do it that way. I have to do it because I was going to put the welders, you know, run through the adapters, but no, then not everything will actually fit. So we're just going to do that. Now we can go grab some welders because we're going to use welders first, I think. Maybe we use the fancy new ones. Nope. That's not the right menu here. Did I put the resource node mod in? I might have put the resource node mod in. Which kind of messes up the categorizing, but we're going to use the fancy new guys here. Like that. So we got 8 lift, 5, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so that's all directions of thrust. Now to control this little feller, we're gonna need a gyro and a second gyro. And then just to make my life easier, we are going to grab ourselves an event controller for docking purposes. Like so. Okay, gun green, gun green. Give me a cargo port. Just by the time I get the stuff, it's already filled. All right, there we go. There, we got that. Just gotta finish getting all these guys welded up. Oh, looks like we're running out of construction components, but the automated systems should take care of that. There we go. Finish getting everything welded here. Probably should put some lights on, seeing as it's getting dark out. Or stormy anyway. But I also want to put a little bit of decorative armor on here. First thing though is let's see if this thing will actually fly and how well it flies. And let's eat some chips. Okay, and let's get you off your umbilical here. Let's rename this to, I don't know what it's gonna be called yet, but we'll just call it the MPV connector end. The multi-purpose vehicle connector end. Okay. MPV. We'll put you on there. We'll set you to switch lock. I'm gonna turn the dampeners on. And let's see what happens when I hit the go button. Alright, she's only 40,000. Absolutely rock solid stable. Of course, don't need downward thrusters. Good acceleration, good acceleration, good acceleration. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Alright, let's get her back over and reconnect it. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna set up the event controller. I can hover here for a little bit, but we can also get back into position here. There we go. Alright, so the event controller, alright, put in a timing block, not an event controller. Let's change this into the thing I actually want to use, which is an event controller. There we go. And back into the cockpit, event controller. So MPV what am I doing? Event. Dock event. Dock event. There we go. Okay, so it'll be when the connector, this guy. We need to make some groups here, so let's grab our thrusters. So we'll grab all the thrusters. MPV thrusters. All. And yeah, let me get a few more things set up here, and we'll let you know when it's done. Okay, so that's set up. I'm gonna need a camera back here. We can back up, and that should be pretty easy. All I need to do is start armoring it up a little bit as well. We can run a block through there. Let the little fellas do their job. And we'll drop the camera on. Yeah. By the time I get back, of course, they're going to be done. You guys are facing the right... Oh, my God. Oops. one of these things is not like the other. I don't have auto rotate on, do I? No, I don't. Okay, well, I think you meant, yeah, to go not that way, that way. All right, let's take it to some flight testing. Oh, we got forward thrust, up thrust, and left thrust, and 83% power, so we got lots of juice. And which means we can get lots of things welded. Yeah, and yeah, it seems to be pretty responsive. Of course, it's got absolutely no weight in it right at the moment, but okay. So functionality, I think it can work. Let's do a little bit of math. Right now, its empty weight is 40,000. That was weird. One of my posters just decided to suddenly fall down. So based on the chart with the flat modes here, so large, small grid atmos, so is 58,000. So what do I got on there? I've got 8 of these guys. Yeah, 8 of those guys. So that's 58, 60. Oh god, math. I don't want to do the math. Please don't make me do the math. Let's see, 60, or we'll go 58 times 8. Is a potential lifting of 456. Yes? Yeah, 45. No, that's not right. One more zero. Yeah, so 500,000, yeah, 500,000, nearly 500,000 by itself. Now, the only problem with that, of course, is that the flat modes are only good for about a third of that. So I'm going to take that total, which is 456,000. So I'm going 57,000 times 8. And then I'm going to multiply it by 0.3, which gives me a total lifting capacity of about 136,000, which, yeah, should be okay. Including nose down, nose up. So, yeah, I think I'm going to be good here. So we need one more on the toolbar. We need a camera. And we'll set that to view. No, I want you on slot 5. So my standardization. So now I can look back here and lock her up. Okay. I don't want to add too much more weight to it, but I don't want to just leave it as a skeleton structure here. So let's get some blocks in some of these spaces. Okay, I'm going to move all of these thrusters first because every last one of them is in the wrong place. Thanks, me. Yeah, dummy. Okay. Let's try that again with the thrusters. And we want the flatsies. Nice square flatsies. So 1, 2. Put the 3 back in. Okay, I just did that to clear my build planner. Alright, so let's try this armoring thing again. So we're gonna go with some of these right up the center here. Handy thing about your cargo being connected. We'll fill these guys in. Okay, and there she is. Okay, so now all I have to do is set up for Izzy's. Otherwise, I'm going to be fighting the inventory management to get the blocks in here. And let's go load up some steel plate. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn Izzy's off for now. Do I even have Izzy's running? Oh, you know what? I am not running Izzy's right now, so I don't have to worry about it. Cool. All right, so let's find only here. I want to throw into the modular cargo all the steel plates I can find. So we got oodles and oodles and oodles here. So we'll toss, oops, not those. We got a bunch here. Bunch there. Let's check our assembler. One of these things has the quota. Let's increase, yeah, let's start increasing some of these values. So we're going to set our steel plate to that. We're going to set our interior plate to 3,000. Metal grids to 2,000. Construction components can go up to 3,000. And it should do. Let's see what it is doing in our production now. Lovely. Okay. Let's grab the rest of our steel plates here. Because that won't last long. Nope, not new. Alright. Let's disconnect. Well, it looks like they've gotten themselves caught up here, so that's good. So I'm just going to set you down. And let's lay out some blocks. Alright, let's just put you on the ground. You just sit there nicely. Yeah, so I just added some, ribbing and stuff like that underneath. Give it a little bit of a look. Maybe I'll do something up at the top there. But in the meantime, I'm going to eat me some chippies. And let's get the rest of our blocks filled in. So I'm using light armor here, light armor here. It looks like I'm using the plastic, so let's grab that and that color and make sure we're using the right texture. So we'll get these guys filled in. And probably should be using floor blocks, but I don't wanna. Oh, hello, Jesus. Hi, you. All right, you guys can get up that. Well then, I may have to block that off, but it will get blocked off. And I can use the meat. All right. What are we doing here? Need to repaint some blocks here. Like that. Alright, and let's just start laying some blocks in. Now, I'm probably never going to get a chance to use the welder here, aren't I? Okay, so all the blocks are in place. I had absolutely no reason, by the way, to build this welder. I just wanted to, so I wanted to clear that up. All right, so 2 blocks we're gonna put there and turn our dampeners on, and let's go do some welding. All right, activate the hot bar. Yeah, starting to feel a little bit of the weight here, but yeah, we're still flying okay. And yeah, let's go do some welding. Okay, that's those. We just now need to come over here. But I noticed that these blocks seem to be out of range of the nano system. So what I'm going to do here is hop out. We're going to take a couple of samples on that. We're going to pop back in here because I'm going to go need to reload my steel plate anyway. So we'll run right back down to the garage, which I am now going to have to accommodate for a flying machine. So we got one door there. We'll have to put some other kind of door over here so I can get in and out of. And let's get her docked up. Let my brain process the inversion here for a moment. And there we go. Let's roll out, lock in, and into the inventory. So we want to select one of these cargoes here. So we're going to select that, and then we're going to find where all our goodies are held, and we're going to go withdraw components from build planner. And there we go. So they just went into the connector. Now we can load up some more steel plate. Probably don't need a lot of them, but we'll throw all the bunch in. And let's head out after I eat some more chips. Okay, didn't quite grab everything here, so we'll weld that up first. Then we can put this guy back in. And off to the cargo container. Yeah, I think I'm going to need more of those on each end of one of these arms here, but so that is all of that laid out and welded up. Oh, not quite. Honestly, going to be faster for me to do this. Oh, am I out steel plate now? I had iron. Oh, I have managed to blow through all of that iron. Okay, let's have a quick look here. The ship is fine. It's sitting up there where it is right now. Ow. What am I doing? I'm looking at my... That's 120,000 iron that just went bye-bye. Okay, let's go do some more drilling. Down we go. All right. Ow. Down in the basement here. Let's turn the drills on. We need to expand the pistons. And where are we at to? Somewhere about halfway through this piston before I have to replace the pistons or add another piston to it. And then we can reverse the hinge. And drill is done. Yeah, it looks like my seam is starting to change directions a little bit here. But you know what? Getting a little bit of stone is not going to hurt, except for all the gravel. All right, let's shut the drills down and let's go see what that did to our inventory. As I take a little sippy sip and eat some chippy chip. So that has got us back up to 200,000 ore. I got 100. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be good on stuff for a while. The gravel's starting to build up, but that is fine. Okay, so now we need to actually figure out how we're gonna do this. So what I want is I want a railing that's going to run above each of these, and below that it's going to dangle a collector, which will all have to be small grids. So we are going to need some piping coming out of here. So let's grab one of these. Like that, and let's put in a cargo terminal here. Let's get the stuff for a cargo terminal here. Then we'll put in, where's main base? That way. I really need to check my batteries. Actually, you know what? I haven't looked at them in a while. How are they doing? Well, they're actually pretty full. Not really recharging, even at that rate, so I might have to put in some more power lines, but that is not a shock. Okay, no. Inventory full. Actually, let's put in conveyor junction. Like that. Then we'll put in a couple of these. Like that. We'll come in with a small insect connector. Sure. Does it really matter? No, we're going to use a small one because then whatever shuttle I make, I have more available space for it. Okay. Do I have truss blocks anywhere? God, those guys are loud. Gee, truss. Grab our truss blocks and get some support under this little feller. Like so. Alright, what are we waiting for here, guys? Small steel tubes? What's happening with my production? Let's move some of these to the forward. Get some of these. And I am out of cobalt. I am not going anywhere in the dark. Alright, once it stops raining and the light comes around again, I'll head off and go grab some cobalt. But in the meantime, for the railing, what? Oh, speaking of rain stopping, I'm not sure what's going to work best for the railing. I'm going to start off with these truss blocks, I think. Okay, and then I need something to go convert to small grid. And doesn't need to be welded up, but the little guys will do it anyway. Okay, and then we're gonna come, I have no idea. Yeah, that's the one problem, of course. If it's not powered, it's just going to flop. Well, let's get you back to 0. Oh, come on, not another storm. All right. That is all wrong. I need to come back by 1. Well, many hours later, and 3 versions later, I finally arrived at this and this railing. So yeah, this is what we've got. So let's get up in the air. So it's running on 4 wheels up here. It's got the 2 side guide wheels, so 2 on each side. I might put something under here, but I don't think I have the room to squeeze anything else under there. It is being controlled by a 2 timer block, so there's 1 timer block that is responsible for sending it that away, and as you can see, we're going to do the first test very shortly. It's got another timer block that is activated by that sensor, so when it gets all the way down to the end here, it's going to see that plate and it's going to kick in the second timer block, which will then invert it. It'll set it going back down the track at a slightly higher speed, so because it doesn't need to waste a bunch of time. The collector will hopefully grab whatever it misses the first time. There is another sensor here that when it gets close to that wall, it's going to actually slow it down so that by the time it gets within connection range, it's not going mock chicken, damaging the connector. Instead, the connector is going to hit, which then will trigger an event controller. Once this is in range, that will then lock the connector, shut off the collector, and hold it in position. Activating it is on this switch right here. So there's another event controller that when that connector is disconnected, so this will disconnect it, it's going to then activate the first timer, which will then send it down the route, and rinse and repeat. Unfortunately, I should be able to put all this on a blueprint, so getting the other 3 lines in shouldn't be that big of a deal. But I've sent it up and down a few times to test it out, but I haven't actually tested the planting yet. All right, to get ready for this while I'm waiting for the plants, the other thing I did was convert this guy into the drilling machine. So I've got the drills on there now, and to plant, I went and did myself a little bit of a scraping here, filled the cargo right up, and it actually seemed to perform pretty good. I did add a couple of more forward thrusters. That is to make sure that I had enough ice to run each of these irrigation systems, so they are all full of ice. Yeah, all I need now is the last 35% of growing, and then we can do a full function test and see how well it goes. Okay, just another few percentage, and we are ready for our first actual test. Go, little fruities. Come on. Hurry up. All right, you're ready. You're ready. You're ready? So are you. And finally, so are you. Okay, that's it. Let's see if it will actually harvest the plants. So we push the button. Please work, please work. And off it goes. And plant go bye-bye. Plant go bye-bye. Yes. Okay, the one thing I haven't done yet is set that sorter. Oh, I ran out of space. Okay, let's cheat it. What I'm going to do here is attach myself. So the sorter that is on the back is going to be set to drain all. So whatever ends up in here is just going to get pushed out. So it's got a nice little kind of stately pace going down. Look in the inventory, I should have some fruitsies. Yep, so the collector has some fruitsies. There is a medium cargo container there, but I don't think I'm ever going to actually need it. And then the final one here, so as it comes in to the end here, it is going to pick the plants, hit the brakes, turn around, and go back to the other end where we should meet it, and it should dock and promptly drain out. And here it comes, slows down, and locks. Right. Now, of course, they're still in here, but why are you still in here? Why are you draining? You should be draining. Why is the sorter not draining? Mr. Sorter. I think what I also need to do is set this to... throw out or collect all. Let's see. I'm just gonna throw. Oh, okay, that might be a problem. All right, what's going on with you? That's what's wrong with you. Okay. Okay, quick repair. Wrong connector. It's got a small connector on the top. I thought it had a large connector. No, it's weirdly got a large connectors here. But I'm going to throw these guys back in, and hopefully we can see them disappear. And there they go. All right, that is it. It works. It is functional. It does its thing. I have to set up 4 more, but that is just a matter of setting up the blueprint. and then welding it up. But I'm going to call that for today, as the sun sets, a good day's work. I'm just going to eat a quick kelp chip there. So yeah, that's it. For the next episode, we are going to build out now the greenhouses, and we got to get an algae farm back up. And then we can start talking defenses, and then what is next. But until next time, if you like what you're watching, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider hitting the subscription button. Hell, you watched it to the end, you might as well. And if you want to support the channel and become a channel member, there's a join button below or the link in the description. Big shout out to channel supporter member Lee Barron. Thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate it, my friend. Until next time, though, that is it for me. Be good out there, be safe out there, and most importantly, have yourself a great day. Until next time.